People come to me, Rhett, what do you think about Cardano? Come on, technology is not even there. EOS can do everything that Cardano. They are proud of things that we are already doing for 3-4 years.
It's time to talk about block producers on EOS. Who are they? What do they do? And why do they do it? In this series, I will highlight the various block producers in EOS, either of the top 21 who produce the blocks, or of the many standby producers waiting in the wings. So today I'm with Rhett from EOS Amsterdam, another very valued block producer in the EOS ecosystem who's been around since the very beginning, since mainnet launch. So Rhett, thank you very much for being with me today and telling myself and our audience about EOS Amsterdam.
Pleasure to be here again.
And
I've been on everything EOS channel, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, we're using that platform for sure. They've got quite the reach, so it's a shout out to Zach Gall. So I get the first question is just to tell myself and our audience a little bit about yourself and your background.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm what you call a typical tech entrepreneur. Founded multiple companies. Currently, I'm acting CEO of EOS Amsterdam and Europe Chain. But prior to that, basically 23 years, I ran a cybersecurity outsourcing firm. And that company was sold 2 months ago. It was a big company, 60 people, 3 countries. So yeah, that was a very active operation. I wasn't involved anymore with that company. I was just shareholder and board member. And yeah, so I'm a typical tech entrepreneur. Got very enthusiastic about EOS about 3 years ago. I was on a party, somebody spoke about EOS, went to a meetup, and got very enthusiastic. I realized I dived into Ethereum, Bitcoin. Prior to that, never purchased any coins or invested anything. But I bumped into EOS. I really, really liked the whole strategy for a governed blockchain. Multiple chains, the vision of millions of transactions per second. And with my cybersecurity background, I really felt that approach was able to solve some serious issues in the cybersecurity industry. So I got involved, co-founded EOS Amsterdam. We have been producing on mainnet from the launch. We were on all the channels, on the YouTube channels, all the meetups, all the Zoom calls with parallel Chinese translation. Yeah, that was a very fun time. We've been number 14 in the ranking. So we have had our minutes producing blocks on mainnet. Diversified also to other chains. So we produce for WAX, for VO, for Proton. And together with the European block producers, we founded Europe Chain. But we'll probably get into more details on that. Yeah, so typical tech entrepreneur. I don't live in Amsterdam anymore. I sold my house there. I'm living in south of Portugal now. It's a bit more crypto friendly. I don't pay tax here, so that's good. So yeah,
reason to move.
Good and very sunny. It's bloody hot even today. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that sounds like worse places to live. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So you kind of touched on it then, but just some of the history of EOS Amsterdam. Maybe you could speak to sort of how it came together and maybe some of the work you've done so far. Yeah,
so I think we've done a lot. We changed CTO. Currently, we have CC32D9. I think it's the most famous Twitter handle and Telegram handle we ever had, or is known out there in the community.
He's got a great face.
Yeah, he is. He started out anonymously, and then It's a little bit of a gimmick. He still is anonymous, but many people know that it's Stanislav. So many people, he just shows up in Zoom calls, and he's not that anonymous anymore. But we know that his Twitter and Telegram handle is very known. So he is we use still the name CC32D9. I'm even fluent in pronouncing it. He works on a lot of projects. He's also very active in the developer channels. So he spends a big chunk of his time supporting others with technical questions. And we run a lot of the backend infrastructure, I would say. So if you go to Blocks and you look at all your coins, that is coming out of the Light API that we run, and that's being used by Blocks and many other projects. We take snapshots of all the blockchains that we run. So these blockchain snapshots are used by many. We're very active in resource discussions. Here you see Jetse Spry as well. Jetse is one of the co-founders. He is my long-term friend and lawyer from my cybersecurity company. So I know him for many years. When we started as a block producer, I felt that it would be a smart decision to invite him as a little bit of an insurance arrangement. So I gave him 10% of the company. Then he liked it so much that he increased his share to 15%, and has been, especially in the early days when there was a lot of governance discussions going on, very active. He wrote the community constitution, and basically for a long time there was the discussion between the community constitution on one side and the New York user agreement on the other side, and it was really never decided which one would win, but the user agreement had more votes but never reached the threshold. So in practice now we accept that there's a user agreement for mainnet, and with the recent hack, I think it would be wise to reevaluate. Maybe there's a room for that, and discuss that again, and take the old community constitution and maybe have a look at that on how we could have a governed blockchain. I think that was the original intent, the original promise. I do a lot of calls with businesses. If I explain them Ricardian contracts, they love Ricardian contracts in the business community. We also started EOS.business with some of the more active block producers and companies in this ecosystem that are focused more on the business to business part of the world. So together with the founding team here, we started this website. All the companies that are engaged with business to business deals can advertise on this website, and we're aimed to be the more focused on business to business part of the community. This website is just live. It is not even properly introduced to the community. We showed it to Block.One, and we want to show it to the Eden team as well, that some block producers took the initiative to, so it's EOS Dublin, EOS Costa Rica, so that we introduced this to the market.
Great.
And the Rewire guys, of course, don't forget about them. They're not a block producer, but they are a spin out of a block producer, and doing a lot of projects.
And it looks like you've got some virtual events that people can sign up for and attend. Is that right?
Yeah. So
very good.
We're very
awesome.
Active. You saw a picture of me doing a presentation on NFTs in Lisbon So we're educating the world about blockchain in general, smart contracts and NFTs, and basically the whole ecosystem that is based on top of EOS IO.
Awesome. Well, then in light of that, then what is there anything you would speak to or highlight that you're maybe most proud of with your block producer with EOS Amsterdam?
Yeah, I was talking about that question. Most proud is that we're still there, basically, because yeah, it's a tough time. We have been in the paid zone from EOS mainnet. Then we dropped out of the paid zone for a while, and we are back in the paid zone again. In parallel, we started producing for other block producers, for other blockchains as well, and that basically saved our position. So we're still around. We're very active on the sister chains, on Wax, on Proton. I'm also personally very active in like more board member type of engagements. One of them is also on your tab sheets is 2 tokens. We believe that tokenizing can really change the world, and I'm in the executive team here to bring tokenization to the market, help governments, help central banks with, okay, what is it? How does it work? And support projects. We're supporting energy projects. We're supporting standardization initiatives on invoicing. Every invoice, you could say, is an NFT, and that could be factored and traded on marketplaces. We're supporting projects for notaries. So there's a lot of basically back-end work, like standardization initiatives that need to happen to really make use of blockchain tech, so that it's really easy to use. We're building example software for that. We're building platforms for that. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that need to be done, need to happen. So yeah, where I'm proud of, it's pretty general. We're from running light APIs all the way to running snapshot servers. Stan just recently worked on point of sale smart contracts and payout, optimizing the payout schemes. He's supporting a lot of exchanges. He's supporting the biggest projects on mainnet is Upland. He's doing a lot of support for these guys. So yeah, there's a lot of work that we do, and basically the block producer fees pay for this, because we can support these projects. There's no, these tokens, 2 tokens is a foundation. There's no money involved being active in this company, and basically being member of the block producer community is able to pay for this.
And is 2 tokens mostly centered around EOS IO technology in terms of the
no, this is really about tokenization and more general protocols, general standardization, and this completely not tech focused. Of course, there's a lot of tech companies supporting this initiative. The big law firms, the big advisory firms are member of this. A lot of that style system integrator companies are supporting this.
Awesome.
Because yeah, if you want to, for example, do invoice financing and standardize that on NFTs and run that on an EOS blockchain, then you need standards. And so we're engaging with the standardization bodies and standardization committees and with banks and with regulators to get that approved. So how could you finance an invoice? You NFT an invoice, upload it on the EOS mainnet, pay it with a stable coin. It's an amazing piece of tech. It could really revolutionize the world. You can have invoices that are confirmed by seller and buyer. You just have to wait for the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. But in that period of time, all SMEs, all small companies, all of them are financing these invoices. I think factoring has a market share of 3%, means that 97% of all the companies in the world finance their invoices themselves, which can be very easily by smart contracts. There's a lot of invoices, just not undisputed invoices. You could release an amount of liquidity. It's unthinkable if we could standardize these type of things. So
and just
that's what I'm engaged in.
Yeah,
increased efficiency. It releases an enormous amount of liquidity for all those small companies if we could run those invoices as an NFT and finance them pretty easy.
So maybe this leads to the next question then, because it could be just what you just said, but what excites you the most about the future of the EOS blockchain?
Well, EOS, I think EOS, they are definitely on the wrong place in the rankings. I just saw EOS being 30 in the cryptocurrency rankings, completely idiot. People are, I mean, have lunatics, friends, no, it's friends, not lunatics, but people come to me, Rhett, what do you think about Cardano? Come on, technology is not even there. EOS can do everything that Cardano, they are proud of things that we are already doing for 3-4 years. So it's really frustrating that EOS is where it is. And I think I really hope that Eve and Dan with their new energy will be successful, because that is absolutely necessary for the EOS community to have this new blood. And I hope that Block.One finally shows up to the party as well. They promised that they would do marketing when their application layer was finished. So when Bullish and Voice go to market, that they really start to advertise the tech. So let's hope that finally happens, because that's really necessary. For example, we lost a bid. We worked on that bid for 2.5 months for the European Commission. There was 35 companies, the big ones, Consensus, everybody. And we came in 8th, and there were 7 slots available. So we're just missed out by 1 position. And one of the main reasons why we didn't get the bid, we didn't score so much points on EOS reputation, because there's no community basically. The reputation of EOS is the challenge.
Well, that's why we're doing this, right? This is
very good revised energy. So I'm very happy. Everything EOS supports you doing this series and put some shine some light on important block producers. We didn't touch on everything, but the list of activities that we have supported and are working on is immensely. We have a mobile app called Fact, where you can capture pictures and stamp them on a blockchain. Everybody in the community knows Wordproof. Wordproof was one of my ideas originally. The whole new company is started out of that. We have a similar idea called File Hash as well, where you can even co-sign such a publication. We're supporting, Stan is supporting, CC32D9 is supporting a lot of exchanges. There's some challenges there, and they use a lot of his tech. So yeah, we provide a lot of value for this whole ecosystem, and been around since launch of mainnet. And it really needs a breakthrough now.
So I guess in light of all the work that you do and this revitalization of the community itself, is there anything that, the last question, basically, anything the token holders can do to help you or EOS Amsterdam and just the EOS ecosystem in general?
Yeah, yes, vote for us. That is the most important. They're still on the list, some of those sock puppets. So yeah, there's a lot of people that still don't vote, even large whales. If you look at the list of large whales that never voted, that's a serious list of tokens never engaging in the community. So vote for us, then we can continue to invest in these activities that we do. We're working on an identity system called Mighty. Didn't even touch on that today. There's a lot of differences between basically the continents. Like blockchain can really solve certain challenges South America has. Blockchain can really solve a lot of challenges that North America has, as well as challenges in Asia, and in Europe. The whole landscape is just different. We have some systems like land tiles. Land tiles is absolutely not an issue in Europe. Every country that was invaded by Napoleon has a very properly functioning land tile administration. So many of the use cases that really are suitable for blockchain, Europe, many of them are pretty well organized. So there's a whole different ecosystem of solutions that we need to tap into in Europe. Yeah, and the best tech out there, EOS.io, is the most suitable for these more complex use cases. Every time we talk with customers, our multi-sig, our Ricardian contract, our openness in governance, there's so much features that really connect in business to business. So I think EOS.io has absolutely a very, very big chance to be successful. It just needs some nurturing. Yeah, that's, well, I would say, yeah, we really need that.
We treat it like the baby it is. It's still so new. You know, I was speaking with Aaron from Greymass yesterday, and he made the point that we're still so early in this. Like
that's what I always tell. If you're accustomed to investing and development cycles of tech, to amateurs, people not involved with our industry, I always say, for example, games like Red Dead Redemption, yeah, a famous PlayStation game that took 6 years of development. So some tech like bullish takes, what is it now, 3 years, 4 years? Yeah. So a stupid game already takes 6 years. Right? I mean, what you guys expect? This is very complex tech. An application like Bullish, you can't. If you introduce something new, it needs to be better than Binance. Needs to be better than Coinbase. Otherwise, you only get one shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the users, if they don't like it, then so Block.One, if they need to introduce a new product, that takes 4 years, 5 years. Yeah. Then I see a lot of people on Twitter complaining they don't deliver. No, they're working on it, and it's 3, 4, 5 years. That's normal in these, but it's because it's from ICO. I mean, the software that was released after the ICO was buggy as hell. It took us 3, 4, 5 weeks to get a little bit stable. There was upgrades almost every day at that time, the point of time. The software was completely not ready to be released. And in parallel, they built Bullish. In parallel, they are building on Voice. They're pulled the plug on Voice and restart it again. Yeah, so they're working on it. they're working on it. So I think the
Good things to come.
community sometimes is just too impatient, and these sort of things just take time.
Yeah, well said, Rhett. I think that's a great way to end it. They take time, and the prize will be given to those who are patient and those who persevere and struggle through the challenges and don't give up and are still here. Like you say, you've been in the top 21 and you're currently 53rd or something, but you're still here.
Yeah.
And
I'm still here. We're still building. We still believe in this tech layer. We add value every day. We love this space. We're not so politically engaged as with Eden, that sort of thing. It's not completely my cup of tea. Yeah. We're building and doing more business to business.
That's important. Yeah. Well, that's it takes many. What's the analogy? Many chefs in a kitchen, or sous chefs? I don't know. Anyway, we're working together. We're working together to make things happen. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much again for your time, Rhett. And I'll share all the socials for EOS Amsterdam and yourself so people can find you. And best of luck to the future of EOS Amsterdam and all the great projects you're working on.
Thank you, Chris.